welcome back to Chisme and Championships. My name is Cristal, and let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. As we know, we are in the third round of the NBA playoffs. It's the conference finals for each end, the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, and unfortunately, the Denver Nuggets fell short. Very, very short in Game 7 against OKC. There's a lot of thoughts I have about that game, you know. I hate blaming the refs, but yeah, y'all, that shit was disgusting. Like, it was really one of those games where it's just like you didn't let the players play, you weren't calling the calls evenly, like it was just so bad. I'm not going to discredit the fact that I know that towards the end of the second quarter, OKC did come back with a really good lead. However, I don't think the refs allowed Denver anything to, like, you know, any grace or any period to give them to like come back in that second half, because those calls were absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that there were no fouls on Caruso, all of a sudden that man knows how to play fucking defense, all like that dude is the secret. Bullshit, okay? Bullshit. And I would probably be a little bit nicer, but some OKC fans really showed their shit. Like, maybe there were like a select few that are like very respectful, and they're like, wow, like y'all really gave OKC a run for their money, like it was a great battle, cool. But there's some of y'all that are just really disgustingly awful, and I have to call it out because Aaron Gordon was, you know, expected to be out with the left hamstring sprain, and there was people in the OKC fan base who were literally saying, praying to have that man like have a whole leg out or like completely be injured, or to not, like that's just foul. Like, some of y'all really need to assess your priorities and, like, figure out why you're watching the game of basketball. I think so many of us fans forget that many of these players grew up together, went to college together, they were in the AAU leagues together. Like, I don't think y'all understand that these fools are homies, too, and it's just friendly competition at the end of the day. Granted, there's some rivalries in there, but the way that some fans take it to an extreme level, calm down, y'all. I really can't wait to see what happens with the Timberwolves and the Thunder, but it's just like making it really easy to want to go towards anyone else except OKC right now, simply because their fan base has been so nasty. So we're just gonna get a nice feel for what these series are going to look like. I am not going to do predictions for game 1. Remember, I never do predictions for game 1 because I want to see game 1 first, want to see what the vibes are and everything before I really come up with a good conclusion along with my cards. And very quickly before we get started with the forecast, as we know, it is the third round, which means that we use a whole new selection of decks. So our tarot deck that we are going to use is this guy. It is the Dream Tarot deck, and I love this deck simply because the artwork on this deck is so detailed and it's so beautiful. And then the Oracle deck that we are going to use is the Spirit Guide Animal deck, and I'm excited to use them. These are a lot bigger. These cards are way bigger than the previous ones I have used, so it's probably going to take me a second to shuffle. Plus, my Dream Tarot deck is almost brand new. I haven't really broken it in yet. This is one of the first rounds I have done, or even series readings that I have done using these cards. So let's go ahead and figure out what the Western Conference Finals are going to look like and the Eastern Conference Finals. And I will take this second to give an honorable mention to my cards and myself, especially my cards. They had every single team predicted except for the Thunder, and I think that might have been a little bit of my bias. At the same time, I don't think so. I did predict that it was going to go to game 7 and it was going to be a battle, which it absolutely was. You know, people believed that OKC were going to fly right through us, and guess what, people? They didn't. So I just want to give a little credit to my cards. And again, they guessed every other series, every other one. So let's see if they can get the final 2 contestants. First off, we have the Timberwolves and the Thunder. Doing that first because they have the game today, starts at 6:30 in about an hour. So we're going to see who's going to take this series. Very quickly, again, I am not going to use the Oracle deck today. I only use that when we go more in depth with each game. We're just going to shuffle 3 cards of this deck and see what's projected. All right, we got the Page of Coins. Ah, shit law. The 4 of Coins. Okay, that wasn't necessary. More cards came out, but it must be a really good message. Page of Wands, the Sun, and the Magician. We have 2 pages here, which shows me the 2 different energies, which we have, I'm getting that this is Thunder, home court advantage, and this is going to be the Timberwolves, so they have more of that fire, passion, but we have 2 older cards. It is the Magician and the Sun, and it basically means manifesting your success, bringing in all that happiness, bringing in all that good energy. We have a Page of Wands here too. And this card came up with these guys. You know, like I wasn't supposed to take any more cards out than the original 3, which would have been these. As that one fell. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Thunder won the first 2 games. I'm not going to lie to you, but I do see that the Timberwolves come back, and when they come back, they have a really good solution. They have a really good passion. I don't know if OKC will win these first couple of games by a lot. I do think it's going to be like pretty intense, very similar to the Nuggets. However, I think the Timberwolves find a way to win the series. Because, and saying that because of the Magician being here, like they are manifesting something that they have tried to conquer. Like they have been here before. They wanted to be here again to prove that. It seems like they have like gone up the ladder, right? You know, Nuggets knocked them out in 2023. Dallas knocked them out last year. So like they're just kind of going up. Like they have surpassed a certain limit and they're just trying to get there. I don't see OKC that much because I'm sticking so much of their energy with like that earth element, and I don't see any of that coming out afterwards. So I don't see how many games this is going to go into. Maybe 6, 5 or 6. Cards have the Timberwolves. Okay, Pacers or Knicks? Who is going to make it on top? All right, we got Faith, Wheel, 3 cards this time only, and the Palace of Wands. I think the Knicks are going to take it. The reason... Wait. So, at first I said the Knicks, and then, like, something in me just kind of said, wait, I don't know yet, because this wheel means consistently going, consistently turning. And then this also says, like, if you believe that something's going to happen, if you have that faith, if you have that, like, continuous mindset of we can do it, we can do it. And the Palace of Wands is the one thing that was like, okay, possibly Knicks can do it. But I know, like, I have to pull out another card because I need that, like, definite boom, like, this team is going to take it. And there's no, like, specific person that comes out, you know? Okay, now 2 more cards. Okay, so apparently both of these series wanted 5 cards total. So we have the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Cups. Oh my god. That didn't fucking help me at all. Okay, so I do believe that the Knicks will be taking the series. It's possible that this game or the series goes into game 6. Reason why I believe that it's the Knicks is because it's possible that the Pacers maybe rest for a little bit or someone somewhere. And I'm still so iffy about it because there's such a, I don't think you'll understand, like there's such an even balance in this reading. Like it literally can go either way, but it's not saying it's going to go all the way to game 7, but it's just something that's like, it seems like, I don't even, like this has been one of the most challenging readings I've ever had to do regarding a series because there isn't a specific thing. It's so centered around like the right choice and the right person making this like direct move, but it's not saying who, it's not pointing. But again, like I said earlier, the Palace of Wands is one of the main things that is showing Knicks energy. So my cards got the Knicks in 6. Okay, well, my cards have spoken. We are going to see if the finals consist of the Timberwolves and the Knicks, and if not, who else will take over in the league. I like that matchup, I guess. I kind of was rooting more for the Pacers, and I'm not gonna lie, but my opinion is that the Pacers will outlast the Knicks, and I really don't want to admit to it, but it's really possible that the OKC Thunder make it out, and I'm only saying it because that referee whistle is fucking powerful, and it's just, I don't know, the Timberwolves sometimes get a really good whistle on their end as well, so we're gonna see just how that goes, and whatever the outcome is. I like what my cards say. That's a good outcome as well. But with all this being said, please remember to continue liking my videos, commenting, subscribing, and sharing to anybody who you think is going to like my content. Again, everyone, I appreciate all of your support, your continuous feedback, and all of like the, just like the overwhelming great responses I have received since starting my podcast. So I appreciate you all so much. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao.